how accepting are people of your vision impairment, or do they even know? Do you even divulge that?
Mm, mm. That's that can go deep. Um,
That's why I save
I
it for last. A cartoon of a man sitting at a computer typing on a keyboard. The view zooms out, and we see dozens of other identical men working in office cubicles. The screen goes black. The words "working blind" appear in green, typed out as if on an older style computer. Hey guys, it's Sam with The Blind Life. Welcome back to yet another episode in our Working Blind series. This is the series where I talk to awesome people, awesome VIPs in the community who are working and find out what they're doing, what they do for a living, and in hopes of giving you guys some inspiration on what you might be able to do. So we've got another good one here today. Mystery guest, thank you so much for joining me. Why don't you introduce yourself and let everybody know who you are?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Emily Matouton, aka Hermenia Blue. That's kind of what I go by for artist. Um, I am a legally blind artist. In addition to fine art like painting and drawing, I'm also a freelance hair and makeup artist. So all forms of self-expression are cool with me.
Awesome. So tell everybody a little bit about your vision impairment, your acuity, all of that.
Yeah, of course. So I have Stargardt's disease. Um, so
Yay!
I, yeah, woo, Star Guardians.
That's right.
Um, I kind of describe my vision as an out of focus camera to start. Then I get floaters um, and light sensitivity. I also have like a blind spot in my central vision. I say blind spot hesitantly because I think a lot of people think blind is complete black nothingness. I think the floaters are sort of more colorful. I don't know if you experience that as well.
Yeah, kind of all of that.
Hmm.
Have you seen my video on how I see with Stargardt's? Um,
No, I have not.
Yeah, you should watch that because I use my camera and my editing software to kind of recreate and explain how we see, because everybody thinks it's a big black spot, like we see a big black floating area, and I'm like, no, it's nothing like that.
Yeah, yeah. It's,
So,
I don't expect people to understand, but I
right.
gotta teach them.
That's all right. So how long have you been living with Stargardt? When were you diagnosed?
So I was diagnosed when I was 10 years old. I always had visual difficulties. It just kind of progressed and progressed. And it was kind of when I was about 8 or 9 when we're like, yeah, something, we got to investigate here. Something's going on. So we figured it out in Stargard. So,
Awesome. Okay. And did you say your acuity? I don't think you did. You,
okay. So without glasses, I am, I believe, 20 over 600.
mhm.
And then with glasses, I am 20 over 200 for
Ah,
distance. Yeah.
lucky.
Yeah.
Show
it's
off.
it sounds good, but I promise it's not as good as it sounds.
Oh yeah, I totally get you. All right, so you kind of already mentioned what you do for a living. Do you want to expand? What kind of art? Like, what's your medium of choice? I guess
Yeah, of course.
if we couldn't
My
tell from what's behind you there on the wall, anyway.
yes, to do. So my main medium is acrylic paint. Currently, I kind of play around with the drawing as well. But acrylic paint, I also like watercolors. And I also use makeup as a medium, if you will. Just
Hmm.
instead of a canvas, I'm painting on faces.
You're already way better than I was because I grew up drawing. I actually really thought I was going to become a comic book artist when I was in high school. I thought that's where I
Oh,
was going because I have a knack for drawing, big muscle guys and the villains and the superheroes and all that. Uh,
yeah.
it sounds cliche, like every 12-year-old boy thinks they could do that, but I was actually pretty good at it. So, but then, obviously, vision, it's hard to draw those kind of things without central vision.
Hmm.
Um, so I got into painting, but I was into oil painting. I could never get the knack of
Mm.
acrylics. Acrylics just dry too quickly for me. I needed to play around with them more. I needed more time with them. So I commend you
Yeah.
for that.
Thank you. Yeah, see, I don't have the patience. That's why I don't do oil. I love oil paintings. I think they're gorgeous. But yeah, I like the challenge of like how the acrylics dry quickly. I think that's kind of, I don't know, it's part of the thrill of it, I guess.
Yeah, you have to be decisive.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so well, with your makeup career, did you have to do any kind of special training, or I imagine you did, or education for that?
Yeah, so it's a combo of training and self-taught. I went to beauty school, cosmetology school. So that covers hair, makeup, skin, and nails. Um, and then the the majority of the makeup stuff is self-taught. And
Mhm.
just by practicing, I like fell in love with makeup at a very young age. So I was always doing my friends and my family and like watching. I grew up on like all the makeup tutorials and stuff like that. So
Yeah, and that's kind of how it is with art too. It's like you can learn the technical aspects of it, but a lot of it just comes with repetition, practice. That's how you really get good at it.
exactly, just like anything in life, you know.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mhm.
The more you know.
The little rainbow.
Yeah. All right, so how long have you been doing, your, job as your makeup career,
So I
makeup artist?
started, yeah, I think my first official makeup gig was 2014. And I've been doing it ever since. I lived in Boston for a while. So I was doing it there, freelancing, and I moved back to New York a little over a year ago. And starting that here.
Okay. What kind of clientele do you work with? Because you had mentioned in the email, one of our emails, you do some types of, like, people who are performing. Is it, like, video work and stuff?
Yeah, yeah. So lately it's mostly been film, um, short films, feature length films, music videos, which I super, super love. I mean, I love doing anything, but
Yeah.
music videos, I love, I'm a music lover myself. So I love getting to work with musicians and stuff. I think that's cool.
Yeah, it's gotta be exciting.
It is, it really is.
Yeah, I've been on a couple film sets and, just the energy on a film set and all the cool stuff going on, it's a lot of fun.
It is, it is. I do like photo shoots as well, like special occasions. If you have like, you know, a little event, you want your makeup done, I'll do that for you as well.
Nice. So for your, job working with makeup or your art, what kind of accommodations do you have or do you need? Any whether it's any type of specialized tools, devices, software for computers and things like that?
Hmm. That's a good question. You know, funny enough, I don't use a ton of assistive tech when it comes to my art.
Mhm.
I heavily rely on Apple products, my iPhone, my MacBook. I find that those built-in features are very handy for me personally.
Yeah.
Um, and a lot of my makeup work has to do with like photos and you know documenting your work, and um, that is always helpful with the iPhone as well. I've been on sets where I will take a picture of something that I have to focus on, like from far away, for example. If I have to check someone's makeup from across the room, I'm like, no, like, can't do that. So if I take a picture and zoom in, it's usually sufficient for me.
So with your art, do you find, you're working on a larger scale? Not so much small detail work.
It's kind of a combination of both.
Mhm.
I love detail work, but I have to give myself grace on that because sometimes the details don't come out as I picture them in my head, obviously for visual reasons.
Right, right.
Big surprise, big surprise.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, I work to the best of my ability, and hey, people say it's pretty detailed, so I'll take the word for it.
Well, nice. Have you ever tried digital art? Any kind of digital art?
No, I that's something I've never dabbled into. I would love that. I know that would probably be pretty easy too in terms of zooming in and
Yeah, yeah.
um, using the tech that way too.
So I just kind of going on a little side note here. I for Christmas last year I got my daughter the Apple Pencil. And I got her Procreate because she loves art too.
Mhm.
And so that was the first time I'd ever tried digital art. And yeah, I found that I could sketch out like drawing a face, for example. I could sketch out all my guidelines and stuff like that. And then when I needed to do the detail work of the eyes and all of that, I could zoom in and do that really, make it really big on the screen.
Mm.
It was super helpful. And then I was actually working with Microsoft and I was using their Surface tablet, or not tablet, the Surface Studio computer. It's their big, I think it's 21-inch monitor,
Oh, that's
but
pretty big.
but it's a giant touch screen. And same thing, they have their pencil, and so being able to sketch it out, and get my composition and proportions and all that, and then being able to zoom in, pinch to zoom to do all the detail, it was
Yeah.
really, really cool. Like I'm excited to kind of explore that a little bit further.
Yeah, that's what's great about tech too. Like for me, I have like posture issues and like body pain. So if I'm like on a canvas, right, on an easel, it's like, I have to
Oh
get
yeah.
in a certain way. But with like you're describing the digital art, you can kind of, it's a device you can hold as close as you
Hmm.
need to and zoom in as you need to. So I think that's a really cool step in the right direction in terms of assistive tech.
Oh yeah. Yeah, don't get me started on how low vision we have to bend over for everything.
Oh my god. Yeah, yeah, that's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah. So in your current jobs, and when you're working with people, especially like clientele
Mhm.
and the producers and all of that, how accepting are people of your vision impairment? Or do they even know? Do you even divulge that?
Mm, mm. Yeah, that can go deep. Um,
That's why I saved
I
it for last.
Yeah, I fortunately have been able to work with a lot of close friends of mine who are very understanding and, know my work and understand that I'm very capable of my job and can,
Mhm.
work with a group of people, etc. Um, I have trouble disclosing sometimes in terms of looking for newer work, having trouble finding work as well. That is something tough too because I don't drive,
Oh, yeah.
um, and um, that's a little tough too. Like applying for certain gigs and saying I can't really get to there. Like, can you provide me transportation? So I used to not disclose but I choose to disclose now. I feel like I'm able to do my job better when I'm more honest. Like I've been in situations where I kind of pretend to be a sighted person. I don't
Yeah.
know if you've done that, but like
Oh,
you kind of
half my
skate
life.
by. Yeah, like no, don't use the cane, don't tell them.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. I don't like working like that.
Mhm.
So if if the person's not accepting, and because I've had that before when people are like, I don't know, on to the next one. It
Yeah.
sucks, but it's on to the next opportunity.
Yeah. And actually, you mentioned something that brings up a good point, especially if people are thinking about what kinds of types of jobs they can do. If they're thinking about freelance work like this,
Mhm.
transportation, that's a big thing. It's different if you get a
Oh
job and you're
yeah.
going to an office every day, you're going to the same place, but you never know. If you get a job and they're like, all right, we need you to be down in Jersey, and you're like, ooh,
Exactly. Like, oh, go to Staten Island. I'm like, okay, bus, train, boat.
boat, yeah.
It's like it's it's hard. It's really hard for us who have trouble traveling.
Do you factor the expense of that into whatever your prices are?
Yes, yes. I end up taking a lot of like Ubers and Lyfts and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
that definitely gets added into the cost. and whatever, train or bus. But a lot of the times, the good thing about disclosing first, a lot of the times they can arrange transportation, carpooling, stuff like that. So another reason to be honest about that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it helps that you live in the city, probably one of the best cities for public transportation.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm spoiled when it comes to that.
All right, Emily. Well, I appreciate it. Any shout outs you want to give? Of course, I'll put your contact information, whatever information you want me to share. I'll put that in the description down below. But you want to give any social media shout outs?
Yeah, of course. So I am Herminia Blue on Instagram and TikTok. You can find me there talking about art. I also been kind of starting to use my voice more in terms of advocating for people with disabilities and visual impairments. So check me out there.
Awesome. Do you sell your?
Also, oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, you're probably about to say it. Do you sell your art?
Yes, I do. So totally forgot my website, herminiablue.com. I sell everything from art prints, stickers, apparel, t-shirts, hoodies. Check it out. Check it out.
Yeah, entrepreneur over here.
we try.
You have to.
I dip my toes into any form of self-expression I can, And
yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, I encourage you to do the advocacy more.
Thank you.
Yeah, TikTok. Definitely check out her TikTok. That's where I first saw her. And once again, I'll have those links down below. Emily, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it.
All right, guys. Well, that is another episode in our series. If you enjoyed this and you'd like to see more, definitely check out the playlist. I will have that linked in the description box down below. Also, while you're down there, if you have any questions, comments for me, leave those in the comments section. Also, I'll do my best to help out. If you like this video, hit the like button, and that's it. So this is Sam and Emily with The Blind Life. We will see you next time.